I'll have to be honest with you. First thing I'm going to mention right up front is it's free. I like the service when it's free because, you know, you can tie up a lot of money in different services, and from experience I found out that sometimes you can pay a lot of money and you may not be getting that much out of it.
Good afternoon, welcome to GrainTV. It's March 27th, 2014. I'm Logan Burgess. To my right here is Brock Shimno to help break down a mixed trade in Chicago. Let's jump into the quotes here, see where the grains ended the trade session. Corn very strong on the old crop, up 7 3/4. Soybeans showing relative weakness in the grain complex, down 3 cents for the May contract. Chicago and Kansas City wheat continued to march higher, up 13.5 cents in Chicago, up 12 3/4 in Kansas City. Brock, old crop corn sales really seem to be driving things there. We'll get to that in a minute, but this wheat market led to the upside today. Seems like weather continues to be a good concern there.
Yeah, weather does continue to drive that market. You know, yesterday we saw a large sell-off with the anticipation of precipitation hitting the southern plains.
Yep.
We did see some precipitation, but most of that was concentrated in the eastern part of the southern plains. That dry western part really missed out on the greater portion of the precipitation, so I think that's what allowed us to rally here a little bit today. I also think that we saw a little bit of short covering after yesterday's large sell-off to push us a little bit higher as well. You know, as far as export sales are concerned, corn was really the big number here. We saw 1.4 million metric tons sold on the old crop, another large number, beating analyst expectations quite handily, and that pushed the corn market up sharply here today. You know, soybeans, the thing to note there is that we did finally see some cancellations. The cancellations of 170,000 metric tons to unknown destinations were canceled on the old crop. You know, this might be the shoe that we've been looking to fall here recently. This could be the start of what we typically see this time of year. Very poor soybean export sales or cancellations, so we'll have to continue to monitor that as we move forward here. You know, on the year, wheat is about on par with to meet current USDA projections. Corn's running about 250 million bushels ahead of pace to meet the USDA projections, and soybeans with the cancellations today are about 270 million bushels ahead of pace. So you know, very good sales to start the marketing year for both corn and soybeans, but we'll have to see how we end the marketing year.
Yeah, you know, as you said, Brock, today, pretty weak day in terms of export sales for soybeans, so that seemed to be weighing on things. As I said, in today's trade, soybeans showed a lot of relative weakness. Additionally, I think weighing on this soybean market right now is expectations for next Monday's USDA planted acreage report. Take a look here at this slide. The first column shows planted acreage from 2013-14. The right column here shows the Reuters poll of expected acreage from the USDA on Monday. As you can see here, we've hit on this quite a bit on GrainTV, but expectations are for a quite a bit smaller corn number there on Monday. The big number, though, to watch is the soybean acreage number. On average, analysts are looking for 81 million acres put in the ground. But if you look at the average or the analysts that comprise that poll, some very well-respected analysts are looking for an acreage number approaching 83 million acres. And then if you look at spring wheat there, also a beneficiary from smaller corn acres. But as I said, the big number to keep an eye on is soybean acres. I talked about this a little bit earlier in the week on GrainTV. I feel like this is a great report here to pick up a soybean put in front of. We've seen a good run in new crop soybean prices, up about $1 from January lows, and expectations are there for the USDA to release a very large number. If we get a number 81, 82 million acres, I'd expect that to weigh on the November contract. And as I said, I think with how tight stocks are, not a great market to necessarily cap the upside, but a put is a good way to reduce some of that risk and pick up something if the market does turn around there on Monday.
You know, we do get the quarterly grain stocks out on Monday as well. Yeah. That'll be have a bigger effect on the old crop prices, so that'll be some numbers to definitely watch. And of course, we'll break those down tomorrow ahead of the report. You know, one bit of information to note here towards the end of the trade today, we did get some information from Argentina. The Argentinian government did put out their estimates for this year's harvest. They have their soy harvest at 54 million metric tons. That's exactly what the USDA is currently pegging the Argentinian soybean harvest at. Corn harvest, they are quite a bit higher than what the USDA currently has. Argentinian government has them at 29.8 million metric tons. USDA has them at 24 million metric tons. So that could be a story to develop that we might see a little bit more competition on the export front as far as corn is concerned moving forward.
That's right, something to keep an eye on there. We'll keep you posted on that here on GrainTV. As Brock said, tomorrow we'll be breaking down the planted acreage numbers in more detail, and additionally those quarterly grain stocks that we'll be getting on Monday as well. That should be the big driver of old crop prices on Monday, are those quarterly grain stocks. Big driver of new crop, obviously, those planted acreage numbers. So as I said, we'll do a recap tomorrow here on GrainTV. Thanks a lot for joining us, though, on a Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow to break down the report.